I want to tell you a story. This is a story which is close to my heart. And the story is about a young man in his 40s who lived in a little village in the north of Pakistan in the 1950s. Now, we say in the 1950s, the north of Pakistan was disputed because it was part of India, part of Pakistan. But we shan't go into the politics. But this young man in his 40s in the 1950s decided that he wanted to go on the holy pilgrimage to Mecca. Back in the day, and this is before the time of globalization, which kicked in the 1945s in the Western world, and it hadn't reached the East at this stage, had to travel. He had to travel on horse or camelback, or to travel by foot. But that's not the whole thing. Before he could travel, he would have to be a person of importance and of money, in which case he would have to ensure all of his debts were paid under the Islamic law. He would have to ensure that he's providing for the time that he's going to be away from his family, which roughly, if you were to compute it, was there and back 5 to 6 months. He had a wife, he had 2 sons, very young sons. Why do people settle their debts before they go? They go because if they go, there was no chance or there's no guarantee that they would come back alive, which meant if they left and never came, their family would be desolate. They'd be wanting, they would have no wealth, and they'd be at the beck and call of maybe the tribe and other people within the family. So it's very important. The other aspect of the travel was finances. So he would have to have money in his hand. So he would have gold. He would have other instruments that he would need to ensure he would carry, bartering some of the food and some of the growth that he would have had on his lands on the way to Mecca from the north of Pakistan. And also the hardship of having robbers and dacoits and everybody else on the way to in that journey. The harsh weather, the harsh conditions, no comfort, no hotels, no B&Bs, no Airbnbs to stay at. And there would be no phones available to him. There'd be nothing for them to be able to communicate back to the family apart from writing notes and leaving them at any major center to send back to say, we're okay. And in most cases, when people left for such long distances to perform the holy pilgrimage, they never came back. And it could have been various reasons. Some people died on the way because they couldn't handle the hardship. Some people fell ill and stayed in a place and never left. Other people were so far and so old that once they had left, they didn't have the energy or the resources to get back to their country. So when somebody left, it was a sure shot. They will never come back. Luckily, this young man came back to North Pakistan, back to his family in 6 months. When he came back, he united with his sons and his wife, and he had a further 8 sons and a daughter. That man was my grandfather, who had gone through all of these hardships. I've been to Mecca in the month of July. I was there for just over 3 weeks. And globalization is truly understood by me looking at that story and how I've performed my Hajj. So the way I've performed my Hajj is I went online, I booked a ticket, a flight, I got a visa to go to Saudi, I got into a car from Birmingham, went to Heathrow, caught a flight, and here I was in Mecca. From there, a coach, straight into Mecca. Within 24 hours, I had left my home, the comfort of my bed, and my house, and I was in Mecca. It was a 5-star hotel. Everything was local. Food was amply available. For money, I didn't have to worry about gold. I didn't have to worry about people stealing my money on the way to Mecca. I didn't have to worry about what type of currency I would use, whether it be gold, whether it be commodities. All I had was a plastic card with me, a MasterCard, an American Express. And that would easily convert whatever I spent in riyals, which was the local currency in Saudi Arabia, to my currency in the UK, my hometown, my home country, which is pound sterling. I didn't have to worry about not having any comforts. I didn't have to worry about any of the hardships that the predecessors had. And I didn't have to worry about not being able to come home in one piece, or if I fell ill, not to be looked after. And the chance of thinking that I would not come back and see my family were pretty minutiae, because I have 1 million people annually only 300 odd people die because of several reasons, not because of the journey maybe itself, but other ailments they might have had before, or other reasons. So the percentage is pretty small. Compared to 20 to 30% people not coming back, it's less than 1%. This is the effect of globalization. So what is globalization?